think I'm in. Well, I planned to live, and I couldn't get in it, so I think it's going now. Well, I don't know if I'm live or not, so I'm late to everything. And I planned it, and like, I can't get into my own live, so I don't know. Thank you for the 5x5. I probably should have told people I was gonna, but I didn't. And I promised my mom I would, so I'm doing it. How was your Shabbat? It's all hella dark in here. What up? Good. Okay. No, that's just weird, dude. But I'm glad you got rest today. I didn't. I wanted to. Just had a lot going on. And I was gonna do some scriptures and stuff, but like my mind is so tired that I don't want to mess anything up. So I'm just gonna hang out for a minute. Yep, see. And I took my Mela out, so like I'm probably hecka tired and I can't see. Definitely extreme measures. Honestly, if I don't take the Mela out, and that's melatonin it's made by Melaleuca, it has magnesium. If I don't take that, like I'm not sleeping these days. I just have like, I guess nightmares or something. I wake up and all panicked and things like that. And you know I'm a ninja. That's why I have to be in the dark. Oh, over the stimulus? That's kind of weird. Are we getting a stimulus? That would be freaking awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah. My brain don't stop ever, like, ever. And, well, you know, the kind of year I've had, so I just don't. But for everyone else, I guess they're all like doing the Valentine's thing. And who is Dr. Trevor? Hang on, I wonder if this light works. It does. The light. Cool. So who's Dr. Trevor? What do you mean? What does that mean? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, like, mine is most likely PTSD for obvious reasons, if you know me. And it's almost like a spiritual thing because you know how the witching hours, like at 3 a.m.? Um, about 3 a.m., I get woke up still. And that's when I wake up so panicked, like almost like it's warfare. Like I sleep to the scriptures every single night. And I could only set them because I'm listening to the Hebrew ones, so they're only so long. And as soon as they stop, it's like that's when I wake up all panicked and stuff. And then it like takes me a minute, and I'm like, okay, everything's fine. Yeah, it is spiritual, and a lot of it is like memories. And I mean, I've been through a lot of things, you know, my whole life, and it's not like I just have one episode of trauma that I've gone through. Like I've had it my whole life. It's been one extreme measure to the next, you know, and so yeah, I feel like there's warfare, and I feel like, you know, obviously people have done some evil things to me, and I don't know what they're plotting or whatever's going on in that realm, but I just wake up and I start praising Yahavah and praying it away, basically. Because I'm really tired of having anxiety and having to deal with stuff. Like, I just want to be normal again, you know, whatever that is. I agree. There is no doubt that I was not born for such a time as now. And I know that, and I know I got a huge purpose, and I know the enemies fought me for years since, I mean, even when I first got saved in the Christian church, you know what I mean? But, what in the world? I don't know. I have no idea what that thing is, and I don't want to today. I just want to be left. I just want to be weirdo free today. Okay, so that's why I really didn't tell many people. I set a reminder that I was going live, but I don't want to deal with it today. So I just want to have some shalom. It's the ending of my Shabbat, and I rebuke you, Satan. But yeah, I might look into that. I'll take your advice. Can't hurt. I mean, I get anxiety just going live. That's why I've waited so long. That, and I have nothing good really to. I do have stuff good to say. I can't say that, but it's hard when you're going through a lot of stuff that you can't really talk about and you can't express how you feel about it. And it's just been a very hard year. And one day I'll get to talk about it. One day I'll get to say how I feel about everything and explain it and have a testimony and stuff like that. But right now I can't. So. Well, they could lurk all they want. It's fine. I could swing with the best of them, you know what I mean? And I got to write the book. You're right. I shouldn't have told you about the book because now you're going to make me write a book. I'm going to write that book one day for sure. I have seen way too many miracles. I have caught me so many times in my life that I have to share it. Just like today, if you know me, you've heard me share about my first husband, how he got a heart on Valentine's Day, and that was 2008. Hi, Mom. I love you. And that was like okay, so there was no way in medical, like all the doctors told me for weeks, there was absolutely no hope that my first husband, Mike, was going to get a heart. And I wouldn't accept it. It was almost like I knew without a doubt in my mind that if I did, that would not even happen. And I have to keep putting these on. Sorry if I look like a dork. I don't care. It's like kind of fuzzy to me these days. That's what boxing will do to you. Um, so anyway, on Valentine's Day 2008, my first husband got a heart transplant, and it was all over the news in Oklahoma. In fact, that video that I'm talking about it and sharing that testimony, which they cut me off because I'm like giving God all the praise, you know. That wasn't even supposed to happen. Like they told me literally the night before to go home, and I was supposed to bring my kids back up to say goodbye to him, but they all had like 102 and 103 temperatures at the time. On top of it being the worst ice storm in 100 years history in Oklahoma. So it was like the enemy was fighting in every way. Like that the plane that he got the heart from was a man. First off, it was a guy named David. We found that out about a year later after the transplant. And he had gotten into a really bad car wreck where he was brain dead. So in order to get the heart to Oklahoma, they had to fly it there in a ice chest. And they had to unthaw the plane because the plane wouldn't start because of the ice storm. It was so bad. So, needless to say, one thing after another, the enemy fought me. And I knew, like the Father told me, if I don't stand firm in the faith, he was not going to get that heart. And where I could have survived it because I knew he was dying for 3 years. I mean, he was less than 10% in his heart for over 3 years. It was looking at my three oldest kids that were like let me think, 5, 4, and 2, and knowing that I was gonna have to come home and say, that your dad is dead, and I just absolutely wouldn't do it. So I told them, no, you guys are liars, and he will get that heart. And I knew if I let any doubt in my mind or in my heart that he wouldn't. And even the nurses were very upset with me because they thought that I was just in denial and all the stuff, or sleep deprived, because I was. But no, I knew it was like the fight of faith. Like it was Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen, right? And although I didn't see it, and although they kept giving me the bad report, I just believed y'all's report. So I knew it was going to happen, and it did. So that's why I shared that. And again, he got the rejection letter from the transplant team about a week later. I think it was 7 days. And his doctor, Dr. David Nelson, he wrote on the letter, "I'm glad you had a change of heart," because he was denied. So it was pretty cool. And he got to live 3 more years. And that night before he got the heart, when I had to come home because my kids were so sick, I had to leave the hospital, walking away, knowing that they're telling me that he's probably not going to make it through the night, and having to choose my kids because they were so sick. I had no one, no family in Oklahoma. So I was fully dependent on people in my church. And my daughter, Ashley, she was 4, and she seen me crying that night. She's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because your dad's not good and they're saying he's going to die." And I just broke down. And she's like, "No, he's not. He's going to get a heart tomorrow. The angels told me." And it just, you know, it was so prophetic too, because he really did. And she's been like that her whole life. In fact, about, I don't know, I think it was October, she had a dream that that she was outside of her house, and she's married. She has a baby, so technically I'm a grandma. She's 2 years old, and she said the stars were falling from the sky, and that she was on her knees praying, asking the Father to forgive her for whatever sins she may have done, and she knew it was the end, and that everybody was sitting there on their knees. Can you guys still hear me? I'm just double checking because my Starlink kind of glitched. But anyway, and then my daughter Caitlin, around October, it was within a week from each other. She had a dream in which she doesn't like to share with people because she gets real shy. But she had a dream that the Father was talking to her and showing her the things that are about to take place, and that when He comes, everyone who has shared not just the gospel but shared scripture, who has tried to bring other people to the flock, so to speak, to help them be set apart too, right? And Kaylin, she's set apart, so she's in the Torah. She loves the scriptures. She's was raised a Christian, like, because that's what I was. And when I came to Torah in 2020, my kids did too. So she's like really knowledgeable at a lot of stuff. Long story short, she had a dream that she started hearing the shofars and stuff, and the Father brought us all into the sky, and that we went to a beautiful dinner, and a dinner table like the dinner, with the bride and groom, which is Yeshua, our Messiah. And that after that, that all of the set apart people had their shofars, including me, her, and some of the people that we know, and that we went up into the clouds and started blowing our shofars. And she said it was like so loud and beautiful. And then all of a sudden, we started blowing the shofars in battle. And I have this one particular, I have 3 shofars. One's a ram shofar, one's, the long kazoo horn. It's not a ram's horn. And the other one is a battle shofar. And so, um, I'm gonna give you a wrench if I can figure it out. All right, you should have a wrench now. Let me know if you do. Long story short, we go into battle and we start fighting all the evil. We come back to the earth and we start fighting all the demonic people. And she said it included people that we knew and people that were not set apart, people that were saved. And it brought her to tears, you know. Nice wrench, man. Thank you. Because that was fucking weird. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sitting here telling them about when the day the Messiah returns, but they write some weird ass shit, you know? Yep. And again, this is why I just show up like a ninja. I usually don't plan telling people this. I used to do every Saturday night at 7, I think. But the weirdos. I've had a night where there was like 3,000 people and I had like one wrench. So luckily it's pretty chill, probably because it's Valentine's Day and they're all doing their thing or whatever. Can you still hear me? And yes, whoever's watching, I'm going to smoke a cigarette because I'm stupid and I can. Don't judge. So anyway, that was the dream. So they each had the same dream within a week. I wonder if I open this, probably all my lights will come on. There. All right. But yep, that's how it's going down. And she asked the father, she's like, when is this happening? And he's like, in 2 months, right? Okay. But you're cool now, right? Um, but the Father Yahovah told her that it'd be happening in 2 months. Now, 2 months could be 2 years in biblical, I'm tired, whatever the word is, or not. But if it was October and we're now in February, then it should be happening pretty quick, or it already happened. And it could be 2 years, I don't know. But she specifically asked him how long. And I believe it because it shook her and she was very concerned for our family, for her siblings, you know. Made me kind of worried about people that I had the opportunity to talk about the Father with, and I may or may not have yet, you know, like I put it off thinking, oh, I got plenty of time. So I don't know why my track lights are turning on and off, so I don't know. But I got these cool, like, lights right here. And it reminded me, just like in the translations, like in Romans 10:13. If you're reading King James or if you're reading the NIV, it's like, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. But when you read it in the Hebrew, it's actually, whosoever shall call on the name of Yahovah, Yah, shall be saved. So, like, the translation mix ups and stuff like that, like, I know without a doubt we're meant to just confuse the heck out of people. And it breaks my heart how many people, like my children, die for lack of knowledge. And I never truly understood that until I seen the truth that in the Greek and in the Hebrew influences, the different translations. Long story short, the Greek did a lot of stuff. The Catholic has hit a lot of stuff. In fact, the Vatican, I don't care if they see this or hear this, they're hiding all kinds of stuff. Like, they have the whole original copy of the Lepto Codex, which you know is my favorite. They have the Lingard Codex. That doesn't even belong to them. Like, they don't even let people read the New Testament. So why are they holding on to these things? You know, like, stuff like that bothers me because my children die of lack of knowledge. Like, if our time is that truly short and we've seen the things come to pass and prophecies obviously being fulfilled constantly, it's not like it's going to be on the news. I say that all the time. Like, they're not going to broadcast this just in. Yeshua has made an appearance. Like, we know that there's weird weather going on. Like, we know that we're having ice apocalypse and tornadoes. Like, even at my location, there should not be as many as there is in the surrounding areas where I'm located right now. So, anyway, that's how I feel about that. I'm sure if anyone just hops on there or on here, they're like, why is she rambling? Because it's my channel and I can, and that's what I've been thinking about. That's what keeps me up at night. And I've had a lot of people that have asked me if I'm Jewish lately. I'm like, no, ish, because you know I don't really call myself a Christian anymore, and I know that breaks a lot of people's hearts, especially people that I went to church with in the past. I just don't put myself in that label anymore. You know, I switch my Bible and I do what it says. So I don't really read from the other ones anymore. It's hard for me to call Yeshua Jesus anymore. Number one, there's no J in Hebrew, and number two, like there's this great guy called Zeus, and it's really hard to call him that. And when they say there's power in the name of Jesus, I'm not denying it. There wasn't when I called upon it back in the day, but how much more